Let's create a budget. Let's get out of debt. Let's build wealth. Guys, welcome back to the channel. So, as you heard in the previous videos, after working 2 jobs for most of my life, I decided to learn about money and finances. After doing a ton of research, I came across the velocity banking strategy. To me, velocity banking is like using a dollar more than once. Let's say someone was going to a dealership to buy a new car. That car is going to cost $15,000. The payments on the car is $300 a month. So, especially in the beginning, the interest would probably be around $250 and only about $50 would go to the principal. And then slowly over time, more and more would go to the principal. $51, $52, $53, $54. Okay, enough of that. What someone who does velocity banking would do is they will open a personal line of credit, say for $5,000. They would then go to the dealership and they would go through the same spiel. They would buy the car for $15,000 with a payment of $300. A few days later, as soon as the bill is available to pay, they would chunk the whole $5,000 to the principal of the car, knocking the balance down to $10,000. Then, all income coming into the house, their mortgage or rent, utility bills, gas, food, insurance, everything would go into the line of credit first, making the payment on that line of credit and cutting off the interest. Then the bills would come out and the cash flow would stay in. So this right here, guys, is kind of like using a dollar more than once. That money would go into the account first, making the payment, and then it would come back out. The same money will come back out and pay the bills. So those bills will be paid and that cash flow would stay in. This will repeat until the line of credit is back to $5,000. You would then chunk another $5,000 to the principal, knocking the balance to $5,000. And on that second chunk, really, while those bills was coming out and that cash flow was staying in, you were still making a payment on that car, so really that balance would be less than $5,000. You would then repeat the process again until the car is paid off. So bills will go in, or income would go in, bills would come out, your cash flow would stay, and you would do that over and over until it's back to $5,000, and then you would pay that car off. So velocity banking can be done with any revolving line of credit. Let's look at it using a credit card. Let's say you owe $100 on your electric bill. You also owe $100 on your water bill. And all you have is $100. So what most people would do is they would pay one of the bills and then just let the other one go until they threaten to turn it off. Or at least that's what I would do. Or they would pay $50 to each one, which would leave their bank balance zero and they would be broke again. They also might just pay $25 to each bill and then keep $50 because they still need groceries. Times are tough. What someone who's doing velocity banking would do is they would use a credit card to pay the electric bill. They would then take the $100 from the bank and pay off that credit card. Never leave a balance on a card. If you're doing velocity banking and you're using credit cards, pay them off every time. A couple of days later, they would pay the water bill with the credit card. So they still owe $100 on the credit card, but that statement won't come out for 20 to 25 days or so. And then they'll have another 5 or 10 days to pay it. So in the scenario before, where there was no way to pay both bills because you only had $100, you owe $200, you now pay both bills with the same $100. You used it once to pay off the credit card. You then took it back out of that credit card and used it to pay the water bill. So velocity banking is all about redirecting cash flow and saving on interest. Let's say we had that exact same scenario, and let's say this time you had a total of $500. You owe $100 on each of the bills, and you had a car payment of $300. You guys like this car? It's a Tesla. Most people would pay the car. Most people would pay the car because you have to. You can't use if you're using a credit card, you can't use a credit card to make most car payments anyway. So the cash would have to come out of the account to pay the car. The electric and the water bill, they would pay on, so they would pay the car payment, they would pay their water bill, and then they would pay the electric bill. So they paid all their bills on time, but they're broke again. So someone doing velocity banking, just like the other scenario, they would pay the car, and then they would pay one of the bills with the credit card. They would then pay off that credit card and then use the credit card to pay the second bill. They would then take that extra $100 and put it on the principal of the car. Well, actually they would put it in their line of credit, but you see the point. No? The point is right here. So guys, I thank you for watching this. A lot of my videos, I wanted to show you I did have a kind of a sense of humor. I guess it's, in a way, it's probably like a dry sense of humor, but I don't take everything seriously, but velocity banking, infinite banking, learning all of this, it is a process, and there's so many different angles that you can see these things at. There's so much involved. I mean, mathematically, you could see where to put that money and pay something off faster, or you can increase your cash flow, or just depending on how quickly you want it to do it. But the point is, by watching these videos over and over, you'll start to understand how velocity banking works, how it's taking interest, even if you didn't pay that credit card off, which you should always do, but you're transferring the interest on one. You're knocking off so much interest that you're saving. So like in that line of credit, people, you're saving, people are like, well, it's a 10% line of credit. Well, you're saving on interest because you're keeping your cash flow in there. You're keeping all of your income in there, not just your cash flow. So in the next video, part 2 of this velocity banking, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. This is kind of showed you how to do it, but I'll show you the reasons why it worked, and basically the math behind it, I guess. So guys, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. That'll notify you anytime a new video comes out. And by watching these videos over and over, you guys, if you're new to all of this, you will start to see just a different way of paying bills. You'll look at it from a different perspective. So Again, if you did find value in this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up. It helps the channel to grow, and it helps it to the YouTube algorithm to push this video out to more people. So I'll see you in the next one.